Hello, welcome to the G-Hole Podcast. I'm Ray DeVito. Bob Biggerstaff is my co-host, and this is the introduction. And we had Billy Procida on today. He's a good buddy of mine, funny comic, also has a very popular podcast, the Man Whore Podcast. And you can follow him on Twitter and Instagram at the Billy Procida. And you got to reveal a guilty pleasure, but I just want to talk to him about... he's out there. He gets paid to have all these fun sexual activities, and it's interesting. It's considering how boring my sex life is, that he gets to go out there, have all these adventures, these sex positive adventures. So we get into that a lot of fun. Also, let's see what else is going on. Yeah, my album. I was on the charts. I think I'm off the charts now. I was 17 on the charts. On iTunes, Ray DeVito, well, that crowd liked me. Go ahead and get that album if you have not. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the G-Hole Pod and enjoy. What's up?
What's happening, Ray?
What's going on, Bob? How are you?
I'm on fire, man.
Wow.
It's football season. I got a couple sips of Dunkin' Donuts coffee in me, a couple of 2 for $2 egg and cheese wraps. I'm ready
Sponsor.
to go.
What's
Football,
up?
I wish.
Billy, what's going on, man? Billy Procida, what's going on, buddy?
Hey there, I'm in Astoria. So
Hell yeah.
That's how I'm doing.
Why?
Any
What's
problems
wrong?
getting here?
No problems at all.
He got here early, man. He was here.
From
fucking
Bushwick?
professional.
Did you take the subway, the bus?
Subway.
Okay.
Subway. Yeah. No exciting stories from the subway.
Why'd you ask him that? What's that mean
'Cause
to
I
you?
know-
What's that mean to
the
you?
deeper meaning?
Yeah.
No, because I used to live in Bushwick, and like I would come up here. You know, if you're going like south to north, there might not be a train.
Well, he got here early today, man.
Mm-hmm. What's your excuse?
Yeah, why were you late?
I wasn't late.
No, I know. I just woke up like a half an hour
Ray
ago.
caught me to go get Asian coffee on the way there.
Asian coffee? What are you trying to get us in trouble? SNL trouble? No, I just go to
What's Asian
the.
coffee?
He gets coffee at the fucking
At tea
boba
place.
tea place.
It's a bubble tea place, but it's right around the
Bubble
corner.
tea
It's
is
coffee.
like the Asian kids drink it.
Dude.
It's delicious with like tapioca balls.
I like how that's just weird. Just even mentioning Asians right now. It's like, wait, what's going on?
Really
where are we
uncomfortable
going
with the topic.
Where are we going with this? What are you implying, Bob?
No, I think we're
It's 3 white men in a bedroom
I think we're
in Astoria. It's like I'm very, very uncomfortable
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, that sounds like some people that would talk about Asians.
By the way, we're talking about a buddy of mine, Shane Gillis.
Just say Asian.
Just got on SNL, and like now he's in hot water. Like, here's the deal, man. I think it's he's been on Legion of Skanks like a zillion times. All they do is say inappropriate stuff.
Right.
I think it's not going to work out for him.
I just think it's weird that SNL has like a worse vetting process than the White House. It's like I think they're using the same vetting guy. It's like because as soon as like Trump would appoint someone, we'd find out all this really easy to find stuff. It's like you didn't find that when you were vetting this dude.
Well, here's the deal. I don't even think
how
it's
do you
wrong.
really
He's
find
just a
all-
comic.
How do you really
Right,
find?
I don't
all
think
that
it's
stuff?
wrong.
I'm not commenting whether or not it's wrong. Just the idea of like knowing that these things exist. It's like that's kind of your
He's
job.
a
when
comic.
hired.
You're supposed to say
I get that, but there's
things
certain
that are.
But you at least want to be aware
Yeah.
of certain things from a PR aspect.
But they also didn't. The stuff we're seeing is not. None of it is his stand-up.
Yeah, that was the other thing.
Well, we're on
It
a
was
podcast right now.
Yeah, it just didn't feel like.
Yeah, and those guys.
Billy's
were on a
about to tell us
podcast,
Billy's about to tell us how much he hates gay people.
Yeah,
and we're
I
gonna.
can't
So I mean, this is
but
gonna be on
The
record.
thing was, like, right? If he was
That's a joke, people.
even
Just
doing his own podcast, like when he does the Legion of Skanks, there's like a crowd too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's more of a when he's doing his Matt and Shane secret podcast, and it's just the two of those guys, and they're saying all that stuff. It's a little different. Also, as I said,
I don't know.
he
This
didn't
was the
say-
last person I thought
he
in
didn't
this
say
room was
any
going
of
to
that stuff on
have this
stage.
take.
No,
He
Bob's
says that
just,
stuff on stage. He's not in trouble.
Well, because there's a different context, and also like that.
Yeah, people are saying, God, that's terrible, that's hacky, but it's completely different. Saying stuff in here with the three of us is a little different. And also, he didn't do the stuff on stage because he knew it was hacky and it wasn't part of his stage persona.
I just look. My number one grievance with it was just like I didn't think it was very funny.
No, I didn't think it was very
thing.
funny.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a podcast, dude. We've been doing this now for 2 minutes. We've said 0 jokes. So if you listen to that, you're gonna be like, Bob, Ray, and Billy are fucking horribly not funny.
You could also,
Sure.
as he said, Shane didn't really say any jokes in the videos we're seeing.
Yeah, but that's all I'm saying. Like, so yeah, it's a podcast. Not everything's going to be hilarious.
For sure.
You
I
know?
just think that the defense that comedians get when we say something that is uncomfortable for other people to hear, part of that defense is that, but it's funny. And so that's the big thing. It's like, we can joke about anything, just make sure it's fucking funny. And if it's not funny, like, and you want to take a bigger risk, like, you understand that a big risk also comes sometimes with bigger criticism. So it's like, I don't think the guy needs to be fired, but I think it's like good that like people are pointing this out. I don't think it was very funny.
His big risk was saying hacky jokes.
Yeah. Like, if you're gonna throw chink around, like, make sure it's like in a purposeful, funny way,
Bleep that out.
poignant.
Yeah.
So that's.
I see your sarcasm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I hope he doesn't give, but I think and here's the deal. It's going to work out fine for him. He's going to be
Andrew
known.
Yang's gonna sit with him, right?
Who's
Andrew
that?
Yang wants to sit down with Shane and have a like conversation.
Oh,
Andrew
my.
Yang?
I don't even know who Andrew Yang
Andrew
is.
Yang
The
is
guy
running for president.
Oh,
He's the
for real?
Asian guy running for president.
Dude, I know nothing about what's going on in the White
He's like
House.
polling more than like Beto. Like he's actually.
Well, yeah, because Beto's at 0 or 1.
My buddy was running for president, Tim Ryan, out of Ohio. I went I knew him from back in Ohio. And he was on the first Democratic debate, and he said that the Taliban did 9/11. And even I knew like it was Al Qaeda. I was like, ugh. I go, maybe hang on, let's see where he's going with this. And he's out of it. He's out of it.
To Saturday Night Live, did you see where it was either I think it was the Hollywood Reporter posted. It said, "Let's welcome new Asian cast members at Andrew Bowen Yang." Is that the guy's name? That guy.
There's Bowen Yang.
The Asian guy that got on. Who's the Asian guy that got on?
It's just
Saturday Night
Bowen
Live?
Yang, not Andrew Bowen
sorry.
Yang. Yeah.
I don't know who the Asian guy, but I know
But yeah,
that
Bowen
there's an
Yang.
Asian guy.
He's a staff writer for
Right.
SNL that they just bumped him up to cast member.
Well, they put a picture of another Asian comic.
So
The
they did
Hollywood
that?
Reporter. Oh. Yeah, I'm 99%
Dude,
sure
what are you
it's
doing
real.
that you're following all this shit, Bob? What the hell? Do you have all this free time?
On Reddit.
Jesus.
Well, here's the thing.
Free time Bobby over
when
here.
When Shane did our show, I didn't know who he was, so this is when he did our comedy show a couple months ago. I didn't know who he was, so I looked him up and I was like, oh, this guy's pretty funny. He even had he has a pilot on YouTube that him and his buddies shot about them like working in a tire store. It was very funny, and I told Shane that when I saw him. So I'm looking him up, and a lot of shit from. And he was also on the Cumtown podcast a bunch.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I started following Cumtown on Reddit, which was kind of a huge, or some Cumtown Reddit thing. And it's just like,
You hear this, Bill? When you do our show, he's going to look you up
my
and down.
God.
Here it is.
I'm
Do you want
down.
to do the show? It's the
When I
second
did it-
Thursday
I
of
need
the
the
month.
views. I need the downloads. I'm down for it.
He's-
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's the thing. They always post the Cumtown thing. Always post anything that has to do, like they post stuff about Shane or guys that do their podcasts.
You know what's funny is that if this controversy
So I'm
hadn't
99%
happened,
sure the thing was real with the Hollywood Reporter. I'm 99% sure it was real that they posted.
So Cumtown posted it.
No,
So
that's
you're
why I
getting
saw
your-
it, and then I saw it on something else too.
So you're getting your news from Cumtown.
No, then I saw it.
I don't think it's a reliable. Who's your reliable news source?
I
Cumtown.
saw it on something else too.
Oh, how much research did you do, dude? You got
No, this was like This was
We
like
gotta
him in his
find
free time.
This was yesterday.
It's a hobby.
Just finding the Hollywood Reporter thing.
I just
Dude.
don't think anyone, because as a new cast member, I don't think anyone would have known who Shane is if this controversy had happened. I think he would have been on SNL for like 3 years, and then we would have learned his name.
Well, I was surprised.
But
he was
now we fucking know it.
I was surprised he was a cast member. Like I could see him being a writer, but a cast member, I did not know that he'd be that. I don't think of him as an actor.
Well, they were obviously going to do a lot of Life Goes On sketches, and he was going to play a gigantic Corky.
Jesus. All right. That's
Time to
me
take
looking
your
at my
pill,
phone.
Ray.
I don't want to look at my phone. I'm going to turn my. Shut up. All right.
It's the greatest hour of listening, everybody.
Yeah,
Get off your phone. Get off your phone, Ray. Get off your phone.
I had to turn it off because I hate it when you're on your phone. All right, Billy,
Mine doesn't make noise.
the Man Whore podcast. Tell us about how did this come about? When did you decide you're a man whore?
I never actually ended up deciding I was the man whore. It was a term given to me by women I dated in my early 20s. I started this podcast where I talk to women I've hooked up with about sex, dating, and why we didn't work out. And I did it because like I had this problem where women would sleep with me, but they wouldn't date me.
How many women would you say you've had sex with?
What are we counting as sex?
Would they sleep with you more than once?
Penis in the vagina.
Penis in the vagina?
Or sexual activity. A penis touching her body.
But those are important distinctions. So like the PIV would 118.
118?
Yeah, but like
You know the exact number.
Yeah, you say that like
I have. It's like guest
with a
list.
question
It's
mark.
both my history and a guest list.
Oh, all right. Oh, so every guest, so anyone that wants to do your podcast has to
Have like no.
Well, we have the same thing here. So
Ray,
man.
Ray does.
Bob
That's
is
why we
gonna
do it in his room.
Yeah, so Bob's gonna give you a blowjob when this is over with.
Oh, that was way less daunting than I thought you were gonna say. But yeah,
I was shitting on Bob. I was saying, you got a 69 Bob.
Anyway.
Well, if you were gonna say that he was gonna have to fuck me, I'd be like, he looks like a petite fella down there. So I'd be like, this could be easy. This could be simple. This would be like my thumb. But yeah. So I talked to these women, and I mean, the show has evolved over the last 5
Right,
years,
right.
but that was the origin of the show.
You hear that, Bob? These podcasts can evolve. Why don't you fucking step it up so we can evolve?
Evolve to what?
I don't
He just
know.
talks about more chicks he fucked.
Well, so I don't just have. Well, now I still have on past partners, but I also have on like leading sex educators, porn stars, sex workers, queer performers, dating experts.
Dude, how
I had
many-
a senator on like 2 months ago.
Really? AOC?
No, State Senator Jessica Ramos.
I don't even know who that. I don't even know who that is.
She's in Elmhurst,
She's the other
Queens.
Latina
Yeah.
Congress lady.
Well, she's state senate, and she's trying to help decriminalize sex work in the state of New York.
Oh, so she's for sex workers.
Yeah, which is like I didn't even know politicians were allowed to have that stance.
Have you ever been paid for having sex?
I've been paid for sexual services. Yeah.
Yeah. What did you do? If you don't mind me
I
saying.
used to webcam for a couple years.
You
like
fucked
in
a
college.
webcam?
Yeah, I fucked. I stuck it. I have a USB shaped cock.
He
It's
used
so
to- he
very
used to
convenient.
fart on camera.
You say fart?
Yeah.
Oh, but those all I didn't. But there were. Oh, I had one guy who was like, I don't want you to jerk off. I don't want you to talk dirty to me. I just want you to sit around and be a gross dude. Like fart, pick your nose, scratch your balls. Like be a man.
Dude, he could have got Bob for like
Were
a
your-
fraction of the
were your
cost.
balls out?
I mean,
you
yeah.
naked?
So I stripped. I think I was like I went down the boxers, and then like I played Madden while pretending he's not there on my webcam, and then I'm just like playing because I'm not a gross man.
Oh, so you
like I
did
had
shit
to
on
be a gross
webcam.
man.
So you did
yeah, I was
shit
a
on
webcam
webcam.
guy. Yeah, I was
Ah.
a cam boy. And then
How much do you make doing that? I'm just curious.
Well, this was also like a decade ago. So this was back when you charged like per minute $1
Right.
amount. Now it's all about like tokens. But I used to charge $3.50 a minute.
$3.50 a minute.
And I would get half of that. Yeah.
$350 a minute?
Oh man, I wish. $3.50.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
And then I also
did you ever meet the guy or you just knew him on
Why
the
was it
internet?
so- why was
Oh
it
no!
so
I mean,
low?
these are
I
a
mean-
bunch of. I mean, this is on some site. That was just like one of the clients I had
Huh.
over the course of a.
So this is MySpace?
A little bit. It's like one that like sticks in my memory.
Wow,
because it's a
man.
very odd request.
Have you ever done anything gay?
Nah.
No? Shit. You hear that, Bob? You're out of luck.
He fucked his Madden controller
Yeah.
while he was playing Matt. Be dirty. Sit on the controller.
No, but it was pretty cool.
Put it in
'cause
your
I
ass.
was in college, so I'd either be like I'd have my room open.
What'd your
or whatever.
roommates think because you're doing it? You're like jerking off. It's like, hey, man, I'm making money. I'm at work here. I'm working from home.
That's what I would have said, but I happened to have I was in my
I
own
just made
apartment.
$3.50, guys.
Yeah, real quick show.
Dude, $3.50 a minute. That's pretty good. Like,
If you can keep them talking, it's dope money. Because the key is I wouldn't take my shirt, I wouldn't take anything off or do anything until they told me to. So I would just like talk and converse, and 20 minutes later, they're on the teat. But they've
Wow.
been paying for 20 minutes, and then they're like, "So are you gonna like jerk off?" I was like, "Do you want me to jerk off?"
And 20 minutes is what, like $70? Something like that, $75.
It's a good chunk of change, and that's not even me like taking it out or doing anything yet. That's just me like being engaged.
dude, isn't that insane? Like, remember when we were kids, minimum wage was like $4.50 an hour.
Yeah.
That's fucking nothing.
And the chicks make so much more than this, of course. But like, I was doing like low level commitment, low volume camming.
Right,
But,
right.
there are girls who are doing it every day. And
Did you have was he like a regular customer?
the gross ball? The guy?
Yeah.
No, that was a one time.
It was a one-time thing?
Yeah, but I did have some regulars because like there was a function where you could keep notes on certain on profiles.
Right.
So like if I'm talking to a guy for a half hour and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm married, but I'm bi, but I haven't told my wife yet." Blah blah. So like I note these things down so that if he comes back and be like, "Oh hey, Jim, how are you? How are things with the wife? How you doing? Oh, did you go on that secret grinder date? Tell me about it. Whatever."
How are things with the wife? I have your phone number. You will have me on cam for the next 10 hours.
Dude, that's
He
insane.
was playing
Yeah.
Madden, and that caller, you know who that guy was he was camming with? Pat Summerall.
And then I also used to I was a sugar baby for about a year.
What's a sugar baby?
I was getting paid to like be kind of boyfriendy. So
We
to
had a
speak.
girl on that had sugar daddies. It's the same thing.
Ah,
A sugar
She was
baby
a
is someone.
She's the sugar baby.
Yeah.
But I was a sugar baby.
Right.
Because I like to take the very few fields dominated by women and then co-opt them for men.
dude.
Well, there's always been guys doing that.
I didn't know that was a thing to do. I don't think I'd be any good
Did you
at
ever
it.
See,
I would love for a girl to pay me to like.
Richard Gere's
jerk
Gere's
off.
first big movie. God, of course I can't remember where he plays a like a male prostitute.
Oh.
Same type thing.
That's the Julia Roberts movie.
No,
right?
and Julia Roberts, the prostitute.
No, I know, but in like 1981.
Oh,
like
back when
before
before the gerbil? Is this pre-gerbil or post-gerbil?
before well. I
And by
think
the way,
it was
that
before came
that
out.
probably wasn't real. How is anyone going to know? Like, what's he just bring
It
his
happens to people, but
What he just fucking brings his gerbil around? Like that's just a gerbil that I like to put in my
let's
asshole.
just say he was lucky that it happened in the early 80s as opposed to.
I don't think it really happened. I bet it never happened. I bet it never happened.
It might not have happened to him, but it's happened to people. I mean, that thing is. I remember when I heard about that. I was a little kid, and you're like, you don't actually realize that. No, people do that.
Put
Whether he
gerbils in
did
their
it or not.
assholes.
Yeah.
I'm all right.
Anyways,
Anyways.
that's a fetish, not even for me.
It's
so.
not a yeah.
But
It's not.
but
It's not.
you
an
do
ur-
you, boo boo.
It's an urban myth that Richard Gere did it, but it's not an urban
I
myth.
promise you, he never did. Not that I give a shit, but I promise you, he's got other things going on than sticking gerbils in his ass. All right, back to Billy's
That's
ass.
Hollywood.
Billy,
You're never gonna make it in Hollywood, Ray.
we're having a serious conversation. You bring up this
Give me that
Richard
paper towel
gerbil
holder. I brought a
fucking-
gerbil with me.
Jesus. So, what's the weirdest thing you've ever done? Then, have
Well-
you ever done? Obviously, no animals, right?
No animals.
No animals.
But that the I would challenge the question itself of what is weird sex. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
what's
Ray.
weird to no, not in a yelling way. Just more like
any woman
what's-
wanting to have sex with me is weird.
Right, exactly.
More
So now we've established
Are you
that.
sure you want to do this? Are you,
Well, the animal stuff is obviously if you said you did animal stuff, first of all, that's illegal.
depending on the state.
So
Why?
But I don't know. I guess it depends. Like, what type of weirdness are you looking for? Because I wouldn't call a lot of the sex I've had weird. I would call it this is the type of sex I've wanted to try or have had or whatever.
Dude, I'm just like, no offense, but
It's
where
all right.
did you get the self confidence to do this? Like, I couldn't even think about putting
to do
myself
what? We haven't
do
even
what?
said anything
Yeah.
yet. He hasn't even said anything.
to have
Answer a Craigslist ad doesn't take a lot of confidence. Just takes like reading comprehension and some
just
fingers.
like here's the deal. All right, you set up this
You say you're a
webcam thing.
sugar dad or sugar
I was a
baby.
sugar baby. Yeah.
Did any of these? But was this just like you going out on dates with these women and
This
then
was
them
a-
giving you money and maybe you having sex with them, or was it like
She didn't even
they
live
wanted
here.
to do?
So
Did she
it
want to
was
do weird
all,
stuff with you?
It was all online. Like it was all like texting and phone calls and FaceTiming.
And where'd you meet her? What website?
She was actually a fan of my podcast.
All right.
And then she
that's
was
how
like-
you
Is
do
that
it.
considered the same thing? Did you ever actually meet her?
We met once when she came to New York. We didn't end up fucking because we had to have like a different conversation. But yeah, like we talked a lot. Basically, I was being paid to be like an online dirty texting boyfriend. So I pretty much talked to her almost every day.
But you could do
I would
whatever
like
you wanted,
sext,
right? You could-
Yeah, I would sext her a lot. Like I'd be at New York Comedy Club in the green room sexting her, and I like edging her out. And then, like, to be like, touch yourself, now stop. And then I would be like, okay, now touch yourself, but don't come for the next 5.5 minutes because I have to go up and do my set. And then get off stage and get back to it.
Wow.
And she would give me $500 a month.
Jesus.
Yeah. Plus for my birthday,
So
she
what,
got
what
me a
is
ticket to
this
Hamilton.
website though?
wow.
I assume this website doesn't exist.
Well, this
anymore.
wasn't a
So how
website.
did you get
This was
going?
just a fan of the
you got
show.
all right. Well, back to the website
contacted
thing.
you.
I'm more like
The webcamming?
curious. Like, yeah. How did this? What was the website?
I don't know if it's still in existence, but it was under an umbrella called iCams. I think mine was like adult friend something. I don't know. I
Adult
don't
friend
remember.
something, and then you just like put up a profile.
Yep.
Let people know you have a webcam and a penis.
Yep. College. I think my username was college
That's the
underscore
head-
comedian.
That's the headshot.
You're just like, hey, I got a webcam, I got a penis, I got clothes I like to take off.
Yeah, pretty
Anybody
much.
into this? And you just like put up a picture of
You
yourself
put up,
so they
like-
kind of
yeah,
see
you
who
put
you
up some
are.
Pictures. You set up a little thing, and then like I would.
What was on your profile? What did you say?
The only
How
thing
did
I-
this guy find you? Like, what did you think drew him in on your profile?
Well, any of my clients were all. they all were on the site just browsing through dudes. So they came across mine because there weren't as many dudes on the platform. Because again, this is like before webcamming was like.
But what did you say? What was on your thing?
Is this mostly guys or girls looking at this website?
I just assumed they were all men. Because every once in a while, someone would claim they were a woman, but I would always offer like
you just assume it's a man.
Yeah, well, like I would offer a steep discount for women who were willing to just open up their webcam to confirm, and none of them ever did. So I was like, okay, you're a dude, it's fine.
Right.
I will play into this fantasy of yours.
But you never saw the dudes?
No, there was an option for like them to share their webcams, and they'd be like, "Do you want to see me too?" And I'd be like, "Doesn't turn me on, but like if it turns you on, you're welcome to open it up."
You think that would have been more weird to see that?
It's like my...
Because it is kind of, what do you want to say?
What? Spit it out there, Bob. What do you got there?
I can't remember what the word is.
Spit it out.
Come on.
Well, I mean, you know...
So you feel like you're back on your webcams?
It's much different. You're basically doing it to know... If people are texting, that's fine, but unless... but having somebody that you know, seeing somebody look at you while you're doing it, does that bother you? Would that have bothered you?
Nah, because I'd be like, money.
Yeah. Yeah, if you know you're getting paid, it's amazing.
Because you said...
I'm jerking off for money. It's like, isn't it like everyone's dream to just get paid to jerk off?
How many times I've done it for free?
Exactly, right? Or how many times you sent nudes to people for free?
I've never sent nudes.
Yeah,
I bet girls...
If there were five guys on your computer looking at you while you're doing it, that wouldn't bother you?
If they're all...
Dude, if they're paying me money, I don't give a shit.
If all their credit cards go through, I'm good.
Well, I realize they're looking at you anyway, but I'm saying you having to see them look at you.
I don't give a fuck. I'm with Billy. I don't give a fuck if I'm getting paid.
You wouldn't give a shit if dudes are like you can see the dudes.
If they're paying me, I'm fine with it.
I did an in-person stroke show once where some guy in Chelsea...
Give me $20. I will jerk off right now.
That's underselling yourself.
$20. I will fucking get an erection right now.
I hope this does not get you on Saturday Night Live.
Or get you knocked off Saturday Night Live. I did an in-person one where a guy from Chelsea paid me to go to his apartment, and we both sat in his bed and jerked off while we played porn, and then I had to come in a glass that he wanted to drink from.
Oh.
So when he was getting ready, he had a glass ready. It was like one of those goblet, you'd have a nice, you'd waft in this scotch or something.
I have no desire to drink jizz. Not even my own.
Ray, you talk about a boner killer.
Yeah.
It was funny. He was like, will you shoot in my mouth? I was like, it'll cost this much more. And I was like, but for this much, I'll come in a glass and you can go to the bathroom and drink it if you want.
Well, you shoot in my mouth. That. You know he was going to try to suck your cock.
And that would then no longer be consensual. Yeah.
Ugh.
And then
Did you jerk off in the cup?
When I was was this at the Renaissance Festival?
Yeah. When I was ready to come, then I was like, okay, let's get the glass. Or it was more like I looked at the time. I'm really good at the time. I can stroke for 3 seconds or 3 hours, so you tell me. So I just looked at the clock when we hit 28 minutes. I was like, okay, time to bring the glass over. Oh.
Dude, if
you're not getting extra time out of me for free.
Well, here's the deal, man. Also, if I knew I'm getting paid by the minute to jerk off, I would take my sweet ass time.
Well, this guy was in person. He was it was a half-hour session for $100.
What if you didn't? What if you couldn't jerk? What if you could get an erection, but you couldn't?
Paid ahead of time?
No, it's because I'm a professional. I know I'm gonna get the nut off. You know.
You know you're gonna get the nut.
Oh, yeah.
Now that would be weird. If I'm if I know I have to come within 2 minutes, because sometimes you ever have it where you're jerking off, but you're also late for something at the same time, and you're like, "Fucking let's go," and then it's
I'll just be.
I can kind of just go on demand usually.
Yeah,
especially if it's solo. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Give me a 30-second notice, and I'll come in that window.
When did you know that you were into this?
But that's the thing. It wasn't like webcamming wasn't the thing I was into. It was I want to make money because I have a crippling gambling addiction. What can we do? I can jerk off. Yeah.
Your parents are regretting getting you that Christmas gift. Why did we get them a fucking webcam? Where'd you get the webcam? Was it a gift from somebody?
It's a MacBook. It just has a camera in it.
Oh, Jesus. Dude, that's insane. So that you did that for a few years?
I did that for junior, senior year, yeah.
Of college?
Yeah,
where'd you go to school?
I went to NYU. I was right here.
Oh, wow.
That's why I was able to experiment so much in college, because we had a very active Craigslist scene.
Right.
Sesta Foster came around. We had a very active Craigslist scene, so I would apply to a lot of ads and do a lot of really interesting things and try stuff out and see ooh, I'm into this. Ooh, I'm not into this. Or, ooh, I think I'm into this, but not with these people or whatever.
Dude, that's insane, man. That's, That's pretty cool, man. Bob, what's the weirdest shit you've ever done on camera?
In comedy? I don't know.
Nothing.
What's the matter, Bob? He's just mad because no one's ever paid him to jerk off.
Haven't wanted to.
Oh, now I want to start. I'm starting a new business, a fantasy fulfillment service.
What is that?
I want to be like a wedding planner for your biggest sexual fantasies.
Oh wow!
So like
dude, you know what? I just met an actual dominatrix through Sherrod Small, Kelly Provocateur. Do you know who she is?
I don't know her personally, but I know her publicist. Yeah.
Oh, she has a publicist?
Yeah.
I know her. She texts me
What's up, Lainey?
every once in a while.
We love you, Lainey. That's the publicist.
Oh, that's a publicist?
Lainey Spicer. She's an angel.
She'll text me every once in a while looking for shows when she's in New York City. I met her at Stand Up New York. I think she's hot. And here's the deal. I think she's hot. And I would love to be dominated by her, but
I can't afford her. I get it.
Yeah. Well, no, I can't afford. But also, I don't think I like the pain. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I like if a woman is. First of all, sexually, I like when the woman's controlling, just for the fact that it's just nice. Like, okay, someone else take over the wheel. Because so many times you're with women and they're like, speaking of, like, Bill Burgess talks about in his special, the whole like. You have to, like, a lot of women don't want...
Yeah, women, they're the worst.
No, women don't want you to think that they're, like, too easy or they're a horse or, like, oh, no, stop. Like, that. You know, they make, basically, you call all the shots. And it's like, sexually, I'm not that great. I'd rather you tell me what the fuck we're doing. So I just like the idea of a woman taking control sexually.
Same.
I'm more into that.
I like a dominant woman, but I'm not a pain slut, so
I don't want the pain.
Right. So I'm really into that as well.
I have to sit here and listen to fucking Bob. That's painful enough. I have taken my pain. Bob fell asleep.
No, that's definitely a thing, man. I really enjoy it. Also, just allows me to have the assuredness that like she's getting what she wants.
Right.
Because I'm like, oh, she's telling me, she's effectively communicating what she wants me to do in this bed.
Right.
Or park, whatever.
Bob, what are you into sexually? What do you want a woman to do to you? What do you like sexually?
Shut up.
Well, he has a girlfriend, so I don't know if he's like not talking about this because.
You got a lady, Bob?
I'm just listening. I'm just listening to what he's saying. I don't have any.
Yeah, I'm same thing, man. Are you into pain? Would you like a woman to hurt you?
No, but this we kind of talked about this before when we had that girl on. We had some girl on that was into that stuff, and it's like it's not like. Some people are into pain, but just because you have a dominatrix doesn't mean that they have to beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, no, you can have a dominatrix who just comes and
levels.
and like she ties you up and just says humiliating things to you and never does anything painful.
Rubs feathers on you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's anywhere from...
Your imagination is pretty much your limit.
It's anywhere from nothing to literally getting the shit beat out of you.
Right.
You're getting your balls kicked in. I mean, it's your imagination and your budget are like the only things
the ball
that limit
stomping
you.
was the thing I was like, I don't.
Yeah, I'm not into ball
how
stomping.
guys could be into that.
I'm not.
Just getting straight up kicked in the
No,
nuts.
I do like a woman touching my balls. Yeah, that balls seem to get ignored a lot sexually.
I was recently told I have big balls. I was told.
Guess what? They only get bigger as you age.
Oh,
They're gonna get bigger. How
Is
old
that
are you?
good? I'm 30.
They're gonna get bigger.
Since I've been in New York, I've had my balls touch toilet water twice.
There you go, man.
The problem, but here's the thing. Yes, okay, I'm 47. It's not like that I'm old and I have long balls. It was that one time I sat on a toilet. I didn't notice that the toilet hadn't flushed properly, so the water was...
Your balls just like touch this turd.
I immediately took a torch
sat
to my
on it
balls.
nicely.
Yeah, like the water was I didn't realize how close the water was to the rim.
Yeah. Where was this at?
I don't want to say lantern.
The Village Lantern.
Yeah, I sat. Well, here's the. So I sit. Well, it was close. Like my balls didn't get a full dunk, but they touched the water. But I remember sitting down and I was like, why are my balls cold? And I was like, yeah, it was not.
That bothers me.
But they do, like, I wear Tighty Whiteys on
I think
purpose.
I immediately went home.
You wear Tighty Whiteys?
Yeah, on purpose, because I just like the balls. It's like a male push-up bra. They're like right there for you.
I'm a commando guy. I'm not into any of this restriction.
Yeah, but then like your ass sweat gets on your jeans. I mean,
What?
underwear is not even necessarily to hold your nuts up, like you said. I mean, sometimes it is, but like it's to keep like shit and piss from not getting on your clothes.
Wipe yourself properly. Who
No,
are
you're walking around in New York. You're gonna get
your
ass
shit
sweat.
covered balls
No,
taken
you're
care
walking
of.
around in New York. You're gonna get ass. No matter. I'm not. Of course, you start out with a clean butt.
I need Tighty Whiteys to run because I run 9 miles
Well, that
an
makes
hour,
sense. Yeah,
and
you
I
don't want,
I need them.
You don't want your balls.
Yeah, I don't want my balls flying all over the place. I need them right there.
But I think all underwear. Like if you watch like old, like movies that take place probably less than 100, or but 100 years ago or more, and their underwear was like long pants at one point, and it's Tighty Whiteys weren't the first kind of because they didn't have elastic or whatever, but I wear the boxer briefs.
Those are two.
Like
those
the
are
bicycle shorts.
Yeah, those are like two. It's like having a turtleneck on your thighs. It's like too much heat. I sweat too much.
I mean, there's some long ones. There's longer ones.
And then I
there's
sweat
kinda
so much
shorter
they
ones.
rip on me all the time. Like they don't last.
They just don't make boxers that really fit my body. Because like either I can make it fit my waist, but then the thigh won't be big enough, or they'll fit my thighs, but it's this mega big waistline. So I said, "Fuck underwear." Like 6 years ago.
Oh, you don't wear?
I just don't wear
That's
underwear.
what Commando
Wow.
means, Ray.
Yeah,
I thought it was a brand
we're
of.
teaching Ray so many new
Jesus.
things.
Dude, aren't you worried about getting your balls in your zipper?
No, I'm not haphazard with my zipper and my
There's
nuts.
something about Billy.
This is the money maker. I gotta.
Well, they do say this. Sexually, you're better off if you
He just
wear
wants a straight
boxers.
zip flop.
Yeah, like they say, like you're sexually,
Unzipping his pants.
you don't get erections
out.
as often if you wear Tighty Whiteys. It like takes a while to get it going. They say.
Sure, I believe.
I just thought the negative effects of Tighty Whiteys is by having the reason you have balls are in this pouch that is separate. Technically, it's connected to your body, but your balls hang down lower so that your balls aren't 98.6 degrees. Your balls are supposed to be slightly cooler than the rest of your body.
Right, yeah.
So by wearing Tighty Whiteys,
I'm keeping it up there with
and you're
my body.
killing sperm.
didn't you ever see
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
I mean,
That's what they
it's a
say.
stupid
That's what I
example,
meant about the
but like
maybe the
there was an
erection.
episode
You're
of-
overheating your sperm.
When Kramer on Seinfeld went to Commando because he was wearing Tighty Whiteys, and then he went to the
And then they
sperm
started
bank.
saying racial slurs
He
at
went to the
the
sperm
improv.
bank, and they were like, "You got to stop wearing Tighty Whiteys because your sperm count's low."
Yeah, so
then he-
mine's
and then he
low.
was
And then
now.
he shouted the N word in response.
He was walking around Commando. Yeah,
It's like,
That's actually
you N-words
that's-
know nothing.
That's the part they cut out of that video. Was
Yeah. Jesus.
I don't know. Not wearing underwear, I just can't. I've done it. Obviously, I've done it at home. I don't know if I've ever actually. And when I say at home, like obviously if I'm like wearing pajamas, but even like I'll throw on a pair of sweatpants, like if I whatever.
Man, it is a lot more convenient if you're
But-
into taking your dick out in public. Let me tell you, it is.
I bet.
Do you still do that?
Take my dick out in public.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, when there's someone around, like when
That's a
there's
hell of a
when there's
subway ride over
sorry,
here.
I just like, when there's a consenting person with me who wants to do something. Yeah,
Dude, so
All right,
so
let's make this clear right now. We are not consenting to this.
I've not been.
so how do you find your people now? Like now
what do you
that-
mean, my people?
Find your-
People
I
I
mean, you people. Ray's
Yeah.
not getting on Saturday Night Live.
the people that because I take it you don't have a
Your
webcam
pervert.
anymore.
I don't
Pervert internet friends.
I don't cam like webcam, but I do like. So I have a Patreon, and I have like my listeners are really
Basically, they find you now just on your podcast, huh?
who's they? I'm so
Just
confused
people-
who we're looking for.
The people that hire you to do this.
Oh, the hired stuff.
one
okay.
has.
Yes.
So I don't. Yeah,
weird stuff.
Sugar Mama.
I have nudes on Patreon. People will pay for where they'll sign up, and I'll welcome them. I'll be like, "Oh, let me get your email address for the Facebook group. Let me know if you need help accessing the bonus episodes." And I had a guy recently just said, "Nah, dude, just here for the nudes."
Do you have a good Patreon?
And I'm like-
I mean, you make a lot of money.
It's rent. It's doing okay.
That's cool.
Hey, I'm telling you.
I also have like
That
a.
would be
Put
great.
your feet that way.
That would be great to.
I also have a kick group where.
What's your kick
We
group?
don't have a Patreon.
It's called the Peep Show, and at $10 a month, you get to be in the Peep Show, and it's just a group where a bunch of people share nudes, gifts, and compliments all day.
Oh, you have to put compliments. If someone
I
like,
think
hey
that's
man, I
just-
heard a fucking compliment out of Bob yet. He owes me a goddamn compliment.
Well, just like people will post nudes, and everyone's just like, "Oh, so supportive. You're so beautiful. Oh my God, brave. I love it." Even when I'm just like, ugh. But everyone's like really nice to each other and just compliments each other.
I've never sent a nude. I've had girls send
You
me
should start.
nudes,
Listeners,
but I
email
haven't.
Ray, ask him nicely.
I've sent a couple
for a nude.
I've sent a couple of girls wiener shots. One of them, I even arted it up like it was black. I put it in black and white.
Ooh, fancy.
Look at you.
Yeah, that's another thing I
think
learned from
three times. I sent 3 girls a wiener shot, but it,
Yeah, I've never been into that.
One of them, the girl was like at a lunch meeting, and she said her phone was on the table, and like people saw it, and she was like, ah.
Let me tell you, being in this group, I've learned all these masterful different ways to angle and compose a dick pic. Actually, like 2 days ago, I took the best nude of my life. I'm willing to say such a thing. And it's just because I'm like looking at all these like men and women like shoot themselves in different ways and use filters and angles. I'd be like, I didn't think to hold the camera that way. Oh yeah, the undercarriage does give you more of like a length look. And so I feel like just like from my fans, I'm learning so much.
Now, do you send it an erect penis or a limp penis?
Depends.
What do you prefer?
I have some good soft dick shots. I have a few of those that like.
Yeah, you do have like every once in a while like.
I would think it's probably it just depends on what people want to see.
Well, you want to see, but like, how do you compose it? Like, are you just pointing down and hitting camera, or are you like being a little artful?
Sure,
I don't know. I'd like to have some fun with it. Use some self timers.
I meant soft versus hard.
I had one with a glove on just for fun, and people were like really like.
Is that Michael Jackson?
Yeah. I had like a black nylon glove on, and then they were like, "Why the glove?" But they were like, "Oh, I'm interested."
So this is just a group.
Some friends of mine said once I posted a picture in a Facebook group that was like, I think it was like a picture of me on the toilet or something. I don't know what it was, but they said
it's like, a lot of you on the toilet today.
They said my balls.
Spends a lot of time on
it could have been in the
toilets.
toilet because they said my balls were in the picture, but I was like, because every once in a while my friend will bring it up and it'll be like, remember that time you posted that picture and you didn't realize your balls were in the picture? And I was like,
was this on Facebook?
No, well, that's the thing. There's no. I don't ever. It wasn't on. But it was something. Either I sent it to some people, like just as a funny pic, but I didn't realize
that your balls were out.
Yeah, and I was just like, no, I don't remember that because I would think one of you guys would have saved it. I go, and even if you did, it wasn't. And also, it wasn't a picture of like I wasn't in the.
So
picture.
You're saying it never happened?
I wasn't.
This is your gerbil.
I wasn't in the picture.
But your balls were.
From what I remember, I know that's what I'm saying.
Just your balls. How do they know it was your? How do they know it was your balls if there's just a picture of balls? That's clearly Bob.
Because I sent it to somebody. That's what my friend keeps telling me. He's like, no, you sent the picture, and I was like, okay. I go, but if I'm not in it, I go. Even if it came out that here's this picture of Bob's balls, I'd be like, well, I'm not in the fucking. Even if it's like wearing the same clothes I wear, but my face isn't in it, I'd be like, no, that's not. What do you mean? I would have no problem denying a ball picture was me if. Was it a flattering ball picture?
I don't think there's such a thing as a flattering ball picture.
So my group would disagree. I'm pretty sure.
Where's this group? Let's say I wanted to. I'm not going to join the group, but if people wanted to join the group, where can they?
It's a Kick group. So Kick is like an anonymous messenger app, and it's part of my Patreon. So at $10 a month, they get to be part of that group, which seems to be like the more popular. Is he about to go on the toilet?
He's about to put his balls in the toilet there.
Do another picture.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So how do people find this group now? Say that again.
It's just fans of the podcast, of the Man Whore podcast, and they join the Patreon page, and they're like,
and everyone can get naked in this thing.
Yeah, it caps at 50, but we have like a wait list, and people come in and out. It's like really kind of a community because like yes, they'll do all the nudes and dirty stuff, but then someone will come in and be like, man, my ex-wife is like doing this and trying to get custody of the kid. Anyone so it also becomes kind of a support structure too.
Jesus.
Like in between the titties.
That's insane.
Every guest we have on, no matter what anybody Ray's like, well, how do we find this? How do I find this? And I'm like, Google fucking cockboys or cockboy pictures. Like, it's
both
easy
of those
to figure
are
out. Maybe not the exact group.
I'm letting people
you can
know,
find almost
Bob.
Anything.
No, if you come check out the Man Whore podcast, you'll find
you
it.
don't know. And it's like, no, you can Google a lot of shit.
Jesus. Sure. Anyways, I'm gonna
make me dunk my balls.
Okay. So now back to you, actually. What are you into most? What do you like most? What with you? Obviously, you're into ladies.
He likes making money.
Someone who calls me pretty. Like
that's what you're into.
I have a thing for to steal from the movie. Definitely, maybe. I have a thing for people who have a thing for me.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
so
like-
people got to be into you, and that's I think that's all of us.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of dudes who don't give a fuck if she's into him.
Any of these? Do you ever? I mean, I guess you could say that somebody could say it was gay that you like were in the bed with the guy jerking off, and but
Yeah, that's gay.
Do you?
That's gay. It's allowed to be
Well,
gay. Who
here's-
cares
here's-
if it's gay?
No.
here's
Well,
my
just
point.
I
Do you do any? Do you on any of this stuff? Do you do anything with men?
Well, I don't. I want to make a
Like
clear
you didn't touch
distinction.
that guy. You didn't. That's what I'm saying. It's like,
But it's not
technically
like-
that's not because you didn't touch the guy.
I'm not
you
trying to
didn't-
be here like, oh my god, I'm not gay. It's just more like gayness has to do with the desire for men. So it's like if you're asking, have you committed any sort of homosexual activity, then like we could classify as that. But that's a little different from gay.
We could, but
It's-
I wouldn't necessarily. I mean, I could see.
Well,
how
some
it's
people
not.
think pegging or a guy who likes women to play with his ass. Some people, so there are people who think that's gay,
Right.
But that's not gay because
that's not
you want
gay,
it from
yeah.
a woman.
Yeah.
Now, if you wanted to get butt fucked and you didn't care if it's a man or a woman, then maybe you're
Then that
not
would be gay.
straight.
By the way, there's
But
nothing
I
wrong with
wouldn't
being
call
gay.
it. Yeah, there's nothing wrong. But
But you
do-
jerking off with another dude is gay.
But well, no. But that's the thing. It's like I'd
That's
like
fine. I don't. But it's still gay.
no.
I'm not saying you're gay, but that
But I
activity
mean,
is
no, I
very
like-
gay.
I like to-
technically, it's almost the same as just the webcam stuff because you're not touching the. I mean,
Right,
all right,
I'm-
at any point when you're doing this, I like
Even when
your
you're doing
feet rubbing together. Did he touch your cock?
The doing a homosexual activity does not make one gay. Is what I'm trying to differentiate.
Right, right, yeah.
Did
I'm
you
saying
touch-
there's an active desire. So when we say, like, well, that's gay, but it's like I don't want to.
That's still a gay
I don't
activity.
desire
You
the
jerking off with
guy.
another
Did you
dude.
touch him or did he touch you?
Neither.
Okay.
But
He
I'm
drank
not-
his jizz. That's,
I'm not defensive. Like I don't want people to think I did something that was gay. Like you want to think I did it gay. I don't care
No, no,
if you
no,
think.
no.
I like to tell people in general to remember that like desire is kind of what has to be at the heart of it. That's why when you touched your buddy's dick when you were 12, that's why and you didn't like it.
How'd that get on this podcast?
That doesn't make you gay though. It means you tried something that
Yeah,
you didn't
yeah, yeah.
like. But
Yeah.
so I don't like to call it like that's gay because it's not.
Yeah.
But it's,
well, no, I get
yeah,
it.
It's
Then there's also a difference if you're not touching the other person and they're not touching you.
yeah. I mean, look, I had a guy like
just two heterosexual men looking at each other's penis.
Right, look,
says
I was-
getting wood.
Look, I
Well,
was
mean,
at
it's
a,
pretty close to being gay or homosexual.
Look, I was
but-
at a gangbang once, and the guy grabbed my penis he grabbed it to then guide it into his wife. I didn't consider that to be like homosexual activity as much as like one of those guys at the airports.
Yeah, that's not so
just
much
directing
gay,
the
but
plane.
you-
Well, he didn't guide
Just
it
you and
into-
another
he didn't-
dude
He didn't
gay.
guide it into his asshole.
right.
Just you and another dude in a
but
bed
he
jerking
did
each other off. That's
grab
gay.
the dick to pull it over here.
Yeah, yeah. But
I do that all the
That's-
time.
that's-
That's not gay. I'm grabbing dicks all the time.
Just guying
and
them in
guiding
other
them.
pussies.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
raise a helper.
But I don't know. But in that moment, I'm not as worried about. I mean, I was a little perturbed that he didn't ask if he could grab my cock to do that. I would have liked him to ask, but like I'm not too concerned about because I'm like, oh, I'm about to fuck this hot chick.
What the hell were you doing? How horrible are you at sex that you did not know your penis is supposed to go in a vagina? That
No,
someone
no,
had
no.
to
It was just
grab
more
it
like
to-
he was trying to make me because it was a gangbang, so he was trying to like make me next. And so he was like, he
Wow.
grabbed it to
Get
guide
over
it into
here.
his wife.
Yeah.
No, it was exactly like that. It was
I
like,
want this penis in this vagina.
he grabs it, and I'm like, huh? And then he starts pulling it towards the pussy. I was like, oh, that's what he's doing.
So you were just walking around with an erection, looking.
No, I was
for-
just surrounded. We're all the guys were all kind of surrounding her because the gangbang. So
Oh,
yeah.
so just
Do
one.
you know
lady.
what a gangbang is? I can explain.
Yeah, it's
just picture
one lady
like male
with a bunch of
privilege, the
dudes.
movie. That's what it,
Okay.
it is pretty much. But yeah, it's one lady with a bunch of. It's
Dudes.
one receiver with a bunch of penetrators. If we want to be the most inclusive.
That also sounds kind of gay. You run all these penises. That's like, that's kind of.
I can honestly say, yeah, I've never.
I'll put it this way, if you're
I mean,
fu-
I've never had the opportunity to do whether it be an orgy,
Sure.
a gangbang, or even like me and a buddy bang some chick. I've never had the opportunity to ever do any of those things, but so I can't honestly say what would happen if I was ever eligible for that opportunity. But it's always just seemed weird to me, just like to be.
Well, let me.
Yeah, I've never had a desire.
Even
to
like
do it.
in the shower,
Sure, that's
like in
fine,
the shower. I only showered a couple times in high school, because we never did like where I lived in New York. You just go to.
Well,
gym
we
class
weren't
or
thinking
whatever.
that you were the epitome of gym class, so we weren't imagining you at the shower.
Well, I mean, but it was weird when they wanted us to shower in gym class when I moved to Texas, and I was like, I was like, really?
Yeah, I don't think we really showered in gym class, and I'm a dude that could have used it because I'm a sweaty guy.
I don't like. Well, I mean, you ever go in the gym and go in? I mean.
No, I would just.
Guys always have jokes about going in the gym at the locker room, and guys got their dicks out and stuff, and I'm always just like,
let me say,
I only shower at the gym if I gotta go somewhere afterwards. Like if I have a show and I'm like, I shower at the gym.
I definitely feel awkward if guys are,
if you're at a gang,
imagine standing around with a bunch of dicks.
If you're at a gangbang and you're staring at the other dicks more than you're staring at the naked woman who wants you to fuck her, well, no, I think that might be more gay than the fact that we're at a gangbang.
I'm just saying me, myself.
We get it. You're insecure. We get it, Bob.
My last name's Biggerstaff. I'm not insecure. DeVito, which is Italian for tiny cock.
Penises. Yes.
I got it, DeVito.
You know what's weird? Speaking of which, man, like you were saying, I never thought about this until adulthood, but there was this kid I was like in 4th grade, and this kid. We moved out of Vermilion, Ohio when I was in 5th grade, so I don't know what the hell happened to this kid. But I was sleeping over at this kid's house one night.
Huge cock.
And by the way, I have an anxiety. Like I would sleep over at people's house and I have anxiety attacks. I can't really fall asleep easily, so I'd have my dad come pick me up in the middle of the night. And so he wanted to see he like shows me his penis and he wants to see my penis. And I'm like, no. I'm like, that's just weird. And then, like, I called my dad a half an hour later to come pick me up. And I never put 2 and 2 together. He never really talked to me again. And then one day he just beat the shit out of me for no reason at school.
You're the kid?
Yeah, okay. That kid. And, like, I didn't stop and think about, like, oh, that's probably it. Because, first of all, I asked my dad to come pick me up because I wasn't going to fall. So it had nothing to do with the penis thing. I don't think
anybody really needs a reason to beat the shit out of you, right?
But, as an adult, I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. He was demanding to see my penis once, and I was like, no. And I called my dad to come pick me up. And he never talked to me. I never put 2 and 2 together.
He took it as a rejection.
Yeah. And just one day in school.
He called you a homo while he was hitting you?
No, it was just weird. Just one day, like, he never talked to me.
Then, like, on the TV shows and the after-school specials, it'll be like, the guy beats you up, and then he's like, I'm gay.
It's whatever, man. And then actually, that dude his last name is, I don't know if I say his last name, but his his mom ended up killing his dad. His dad used to beat his mom. And then, the last name is Bauer, and it's Vermilion, Ohio. This is in the late 80s.
Googling. So you can look. When his parents were like, why'd you beat up Ray? And he goes, I learned it from watching you.
Well, no, also when he beat the shit out of me, we both went to the principal's office. He got in no trouble. He got in zero trouble. The principal actually knew that kid's family and was like friends. That kid got in no trouble. And I was also hyper.
After the murder?
No, this is obviously before. It's a few years before. But I would get anxiety. Like, I was always hyper. I'd get in a lot of... Like, right now, my nephew has the same anxiety issues I have where he doesn't sleep. But now, like, he has an anxiety attack, and they send him to the doctor's office. When I was a kid, I have anxiety attacks, and they would send me to in-school suspension. It was a different day and age. Like, nobody gave a shit. So it's, like, weird, like, listen to my sister, like, actually worry about my nephew. Vin's like, oh, this happened. It's like... I'm like, yeah, that's... Remember my childhood? I had the exact same issues. Nobody gave a fuck when it was me because it was in the 80s and 90s and nobody cared back then.
Right.
Like all the times, like, yeah, I don't know why we brought this. This all because some kid wanted to see my penis. I'm just happy
you were able to get that out. You know, I'm just feeling I'm glad you let it loose.
Yeah, but like my nephew, it's so weird. Like he has his anxiety attacks and everyone's concerned and they're like all nervous for him. And it's like, yeah, I have the exact same fucking thing and no one gave a shit. My entire life, nobody cares.
I just feel I did at the end of the new Chappelle specials. Like, do you feel good now? Do you feel better?
Nah,
I feel like you need to let that out. I feel like you need to vent that.
I'm just venting. Bauer's that dude's last name. If you want to look up murders in Vermilion, Ohio in the early 90s or late 80s, Bauer. Go ahead and look it up. So whatever. But that kid beat the shit. He got in no trouble. They just sent us back to the same fucking classroom.
He's really upset about this.
I know.
Yeah, well, that fucking happened. That's and then the only time I beat up a kid, this is
brought up looking at wieners.
Yeah,
I feel like I need to give him a bill for $200 after this.
This is in fucking in 8th grade. Some kid was making fun of me playing basketball, and I went up to him and I just punched him in the face, and he was actually a little bigger than me, and I thought some shit like I'm like, all right, I'm about to get in a fight, and then he did nothing. He did nothing. He didn't tell on me. Nothing happened. And because of that, I felt like such shit. All through high school, I was over the top nice to that kid. Like, he also liked rap music, so whenever I got a CD, I would just make him a mixtape. Like, I am not good at getting in fights. I have so much guilt if I fucking punch somebody. Where that kid that beat the shit out of me had no guilt. He was fine with it. All right. Fuck both of you. Fuck both of you. All right, well, fucking let's guide Billy's wiener fucking out of this fucking, I'm just opening up. Am I allowed to open up?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
motherfucker.
As long as you feel okay. Do you feel safe in this
Jesus
environment now?
Christ. Just open up, just being real.
You should have pulled out your wiener with that kid.
And none of that would have happened.
Compare, contrast, and now you got a best friend.
Jesus, now I feel like I just fucking, all right, let's get ready to wrap up.
I love how flustered he is.
Christ. Let's talk about fucking Billy's wiener again.
Yeah.
So where else has your penis been, Billy? I like how the only time it's been touched by a dude
wiener.
is in that gangbang, huh?
Yeah.
That's the only time it was touched by a dude?
Yeah.
All right.
The gangbang, was there any like DP?
Are you disappointed?
Huh?
No. Well, on the DP, when you say DP, you mean like butt and pussy at the same time, right?
Yeah,
I've done that.
Or two cocks in a vagina.
I haven't done that yet, but I have been part of a few dicks in a mouth.
Few dicks in a mouth?
Like
Your
3
dick and another?
There were 3 dicks in her mouth.
That's kind of gay.
We tried that.
Your penis touched on the penis.
Okay.
That's...
Without any desire for the penis, which we've already established makes it not a gay
You're
thing.
allowed to do... You're allowed to do gay activities.
I understand I'm allowed to
You're
do
allowed
whatever.
to, yes.
I am still I'm still correcting because you're still wrong.
I think that sounds... Bob, what do you... Is that kind of gayish?
No, I mean, he makes a good point. I mean,
You're allowed to do
saying
it. There's nothing wrong with it, but that is
I don't think
a
there's
little
anything wrong
gay.
with it.
That's a
but
little
it's-
gay.
Look, as the gayest one in this bedroom right now, I like to think I would be the authority on what is or isn't.
All right. That's...
no, I mean, you make a compelling argument when you say if there's no gay thought into it, then it's not gay to you. I could see how other people from the outside look at it and go, "Oh, that's gay because your dick's rubbing against another dick."
You're straight,
but I get it.
Your straight girlfriend who identifies as straight, has always identified as straight, does not desire women, but has a threesome with you for your birthday.
Now, as
and
you
does
know,
things
nobody
with
cares
her.
what. No,
Right.
women can do whatever they want.
She does the things with
Yeah.
her. She can identify as bi if she does, but it's not gay for her to do that if she does not desire that thing. If she's treating it like, I'm doing this like I'm washing the dishes, like I'm going to play up the enthusiasm for my man on his birthday for this threesome that we got him, and I'm going to pretend to be really into this chick for right now, but that doesn't mean I'm into that. It's also okay if she is, or it's okay if I was. I just wasn't, so it's not.
Right. Do you have a girlfriend now?
I am dating, so there's someone I've been seeing for a few months, so.
Cool.
Yeah, it's going well.
And she's... how'd you meet her?
I met her on Field, which is like it's like a sexy dating app type thing. It's kind of like if FetLife had an app, but yeah.
Okay.
So it's for poly people, kinky people, kind of like more like sex positive dating, I would say.
Sex positive, that's a good term.
Yeah, people unlike yourself who view like sexuality as whatever you want it to be, and that we all should all get to enjoy it equally and all that jazz. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I can only have sex with someone I'm seriously dating.
That's okay.
I can't. Yeah, I can't.
You can be sex positive and only fuck people that you're dating. Like, sex positive is just a mentality. Sex positive doesn't mean slut. Sex positive just means that you believe like all sex is like, sex is valid. Do your thing. Pleasure's good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is. Unlike Bob, I think it is very important.
When's the last time you had sex, Ray?
It's been a
Shut
while.
your fucking
yeah,
mouth.
It's
When
been a
was the
while.
last time there was a poster in this room? And that's, I think, when we'll find the answer.
What do you mean a poster in this room?
Like something, yeah, a decoration of some sort.
There's
All I
no-
see is like the
Star Wars
dead
guys
bodies.
are the-
I just see the dead body outlines of posters that once were.
Oh, I used to have a web series. This was my this was a green
green
screen.
screen.
Yeah. So that's what that was.
Sure.
Yeah. People love shitting on my bedroom.
I mean, you know,
It is what it is. It's
You
fine.
set it up so nicely for such commentary.
That's true. All right. We're going to get ready to wrap up. Where can we find you, Billy?
You can find me on Twitter at @thebillyprocida. You can find me shadow banned on Instagram at BillyIsProcida. So you have to type the whole thing. It's very annoying. But most importantly, just go check out my show, The Man Whore Podcast, wherever you're listening to this fun podcast. So that's Man Whore, one word. I pop right up.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing this, man.
Thanks for having me.
Step up to the G hole.